What if I told you the world's most powerful couple in music might be hiding the biggest secret in Hollywood? While the spotlight chases Beyoncé on stage, behind the scenes, whispers are getting louder. Rumors of secret offshore accounts, a $500 million escape plan, and an entire empire at risk of collapse. Is Queen Bey really plotting her exit before the truth catches up with her? And how deep does Jay-Z's involvement go? The story you're about to hear is wilder than any tabloid headline. And if even half of it is true, the music industry will never be the same again. Word on the street is, Diddy's trial is more than just a celebrity court case. It's a ticking time bomb set to shake up the entire industry. With prosecutors allegedly closing in, insiders say Diddy's ready to do whatever it takes to save himself, even if it means exposing everyone he once called a friend. Rumors are flying that he's been meeting quietly with prosecutors, not just to cut a deal, but to trade names. Big names. And the biggest among them? Jay-Z and Beyoncé. The chatter is relentless. If Diddy starts talking, the fallout could be catastrophic. People are already connecting dots. Why is Beyoncé suddenly going on tour right as Diddy faces his day in court? Some claim it's not just business. The speculation is she's building a financial fortress, raking in as much as possible before the world finds out what's really been happening behind closed doors. Because if the truth comes out, everything could change in an instant. But that's only the beginning. Beyoncé's next moves have left everyone questioning her true intentions. In just 2 years, Beyoncé has unleashed more projects than most artists drop in a lifetime. It started with the collapse of her Ivy Park line with Adidas, then pivoted straight into a new album, Renaissance. The ink on that release wasn't even dry before she hit the road for a worldwide tour. As soon as the tour ended, she wasn't slowing down. She rolled out a movie, a hair care line, another album, then a luxury perfume, and even her own tequila brand. NFL halftime show? She was there. And before anyone could catch their breath, another tour announcement hit the headlines. People can't help but ask, what's driving this relentless push? Even in her prime, Beyoncé wasn't hustling this hard. Theories are swirling that this is no ordinary business sprint. It's a calculated run for cash, stacking funds at a record pace for a reason nobody saw coming. Industry insiders are whispering that Beyoncé is in survival mode, preparing for fallout only she and a few others truly understand. But as fans buy tickets and new products fly off the shelves, the real drama might be playing out far away from the spotlight, inside her marriage. And what's unraveling there could make headlines all on its own. Behind the flawless smiles and carefully curated images, rumors of trouble have been brewing between Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Whispers from insiders claim the Carters have already started living separate lives, just waiting for the perfect moment to make it official. When Diddy's arrest sent shockwaves through the industry, the gossip mill exploded. Reports surfaced that Jay-Z had quietly met with both a divorce attorney and a criminal defense lawyer on the very same day. Some say it was Beyoncé herself who pushed for it, desperate to shield herself from the mess threatening to pull her in. Even as their publicists churn out carefully worded statements about family unity and shared success, fans aren't buying it. Theories keep stacking up. Was Beyoncé truly in the dark about Jay-Z's dealings? Or is her team working overtime to make her look like the innocent party before everything falls apart? Some sources even predict that if the next wave of accusations lands, Beyoncé will waste no time in cutting ties, ensuring the world sees her as a survivor, not a co-conspirator. Yet just as one rumor starts to cool off, another explodes, raising new questions about what's really been happening inside their empire. And some of the darkest stories have only just begun to surface. As the gossip deepens, the stories start getting even darker. It's not just about money or marriage anymore. The latest allegations reach into the private parties and behind-the-scenes deals that have always surrounded the industry's elite. Rumors surfaced after rapper DaBaby hinted in an interview that what began as a simple business meeting at Diddy's mansion with Jay-Z and Beyoncé quickly crossed the line into something far more bizarre. While details remain vague, that single story set off a tidal wave of speculation. Was this just an outlier or a glimpse into a hidden world of power games and secret alliances? The whispers don't stop there. Beyoncé's former bodyguard, known online as Uncle Ron, mysteriously passed away soon after publicly claiming that Jay-Z was keeping Beyoncé under strict control, fueling accusations of manipulation and emotional turmoil. Soon after, an ex-assistant stepped forward with new claims, describing moments where Jay-Z allegedly became physically aggressive, with accounts of shoving and public embarrassment. Whether these stories are part of a campaign to paint Beyoncé as a victim or a reflection of genuine chaos behind closed doors, nobody seems to agree. The only thing everyone can admit? The details are disturbing. As more insiders come out with their stories, it's clear the Carter empire is under more scrutiny than ever. But the question remains, are these stories leaking out for sympathy, or is the truth finally bubbling up to the surface? And what the next source revealed made even longtime fans do a double take. Just when it seemed the rumors couldn't get wilder, insiders dropped a bombshell. Beyoncé's entire breakneck schedule was never just about fame or even money. It was a desperate strategy to break free. Anonymous sources allege that she's been forced to keep performing and producing because she's become the biggest cash cow for everyone around her. According to industry whispers, Jay-Z's camp has been quietly siphoning her earnings for years, leaving her questioning where her money's really going and why the math never adds up. That's when the talk of a $500 million escape plan hit the internet. Claims that Beyoncé is stacking as much cash as possible, wiring funds offshore and making major moves to ensure she's untouchable if everything comes crashing down. Some say she's even been buying property overseas and looking for safe havens far from the United States. Notably, her latest tour's sky-high ticket prices and relentless merch drops suddenly make more sense in this context. Not as simple marketing, but as the groundwork for a complete breakaway. Even so, it's not just money or freedom on the line. Sources suggest that lawsuits are looming, accountants are circling, and Beyoncé is racing the clock to secure her own future before anyone else can lock her down. But beneath all this strategy lies an even deeper fear, one that echoes the cautionary tales of fallen icons who tried to challenge the system. Industry insiders claim Beyoncé's plan isn't just about outrunning lawsuits or a failing marriage, it's about survival. In hushed tones, people close to her compare her situation to the late Michael Jackson, who famously tried to cut ties with powerful handlers and paid the ultimate price. The whispers suggest Beyoncé has become obsessed with the idea that, if she ever steps out of line or tries to walk away from the machine, she could face the same fate. The fear isn't just about losing money. It's about disappearing altogether. Every move she makes now, from sudden overseas trips to last-minute show cancellations, is analyzed for signs of an impending escape. Some say she's even told confidants that she'll never allow herself to be forced back into the spotlight if she manages to break free, no matter what promises or threats come her way. It's a level of paranoia that's rare, even in an industry built on secrets and control. But if these rumors are true, the next steps Beyoncé takes won't just rewrite her own story. They could expose the entire machine that's kept her, and so many others, in check for decades. And as the pressure mounts, the public's reaction is getting more unpredictable by the day. The internet hasn't wasted a second dissecting every rumor, leak, and allegation tied to Beyoncé's supposed escape plan. For some, the narrative of a global superstar fighting to break free from control is almost too wild to believe. They argue Beyoncé has always been calculated, never letting anyone dictate her moves, and dismiss the story as another attempt to create drama around an untouchable icon. But there's a growing crowd that sees something different. On social media, fans and critics alike argue over every detail. Why is she suddenly so visible? Why the relentless product launches? And why the silence from Jay-Z? Some believe Beyoncé has spent years protecting her image, playing both sides of the game to maintain her empire, while others insist she's as much a victim of the system as anyone who came before her. Theories flood comment sections and group chats. Is she orchestrating her own narrative to come out on top? Or is she genuinely trapped, racing against a clock only she can see? With every new rumor, the divide gets sharper. The conversations get louder, and the stakes for everyone involved just keep rising. But while the world debates, only a handful of people know the truth. And with the next move possibly being the most explosive yet, the future of music's most powerful couple hangs by a thread. So now the question remains, what's really happening behind the velvet curtain of Beyoncé and Jay-Z's empire? Is this a masterclass in self-preservation? Or are we watching the unraveling of one of the greatest partnerships in entertainment history? With every headline, every leaked story, and every sudden move, the truth gets more tangled. Maybe Beyoncé is pulling the strings, preparing her escape before the walls close in. Or maybe she's caught in a system that's far more controlling than any of us ever imagined. One thing's clear: whatever happens next will send shockwaves through the industry. The real story might never make it to the front page, but the clues are everywhere for those willing to look. Will Beyoncé vanish with her fortune, leaving fans and critics scrambling for answers? Or will this all blow over, just another wild chapter in the myth of the Carters? Only time will tell who's really in control, and whether anyone escapes with their secrets intact.